In our previous videos on 3D references in Excel, we did formatting multiple sheets at the same time, and we did formulas that refer to cells on other sheets. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at creating a footer or a header for all of the worksheets at the same time. So let's go down here and select all of them. Let's click on Atlanta. It'll turn white when we select it, and then shift click on Summary. And now let's go up to our Insert tab. And I showed you this in an earlier video. Everything gets turned off here except for header and footer. Let's click on header and footer. And what it'll do is it'll give us an option to put something in one of three sections of the header, or if we want to scroll down a little bit, let me see. We can put stuff in the footer down here. We're going to put some stuff in the footer. We're going to put in the page number that we're on, and we're going to put the total number of pages, and this is for printing purposes. So we'll type the word page and then a space, and then I want to go to the header and footer tab up here, and I want to put in the page number. And it puts in a little code here, an ampersand followed by the word page in square brackets, and then a space, and then the word of, and then I want the number of pages. And that is this button up here on the header and footer. And it puts in another code. The only difference is this has pages instead of page. Okay, now I'm going to click up here, and it says page 1 of 1. Let's actually go back to our normal view down here in the lower right hand corner. And now let's go do a print preview. So let's go to File, and let's go to Print. And let's take a look at our Atlanta office, and it's page 1 of 4. Let's go look at Boston is 2 of 4, Chicago is 3 of 4, and my summary is 4 of 4. Okay, now let's make one more change here. I think it'd look better if it was centered. So let's go to our page setup button and go to margins, and then let's say that we want everything centered horizontally. We've got all 4 sheets still selected, so all 4 sheets should have this applied to them. And so now this is in the center. If we go back and look at our other 3 sheets, they should also be in the center of the page as well. And it does look like when I get to page 4 there, it looks like the rows shrunk a little bit. So I may have made the rows a little bit taller. Let's back up one more so we can watch the change. Okay, so now I'm going to click on the arrow to go to sheet 4. And let's click on it, and yeah, it did get a little bit smaller. So if I want to make them all look exactly the same, I would have to go back and make my rows a little bit taller here on this part. When I did the copy and paste, it did adjust the column width, but that does not adjust the row width for you. Okay, so if we print it, that's what we'll get now. They'll come out, and it's especially useful with hard copies. If you don't know how many pages there are, you don't know for sure if you've got all of the pages. So this will tell you for sure if you've got all the pages when you pull them off the printer. Let's go back one here. And now let's try clicking someplace else here, and we'll come back and we'll click on Atlanta, and we'll click on Summary, and we'll do a control click this time, not a shift click. So that just selects Atlanta and Summary, and it leaves out Boston and Chicago. You see they did not turn white. Now let's go to our File tab up here, and now let's do a print. And you'll see that now Atlanta is page 1, and we're only printing 2, so the number of pages is 2, not 4. It's not the total number of pages in your workbook. It's a total number that you are printing right now. And if I click on my arrow here and advance to the summary sheet, that is no longer page 4. I'm only printing out 2 pages. It's a second page of 2, and that's exactly what it says down at the bottom. So if you were to hard code that in, and go back here and back up, and go to the footer for Atlanta and put page 1 of 4, and go to this and put page 2 of 4, and then page 3 of 4, and then page 4 of 4. That's what would always be printed out. So we don't want that. We just want to know how many pages are going to be printed, and we want the numbers on the pages that are being printed, and that's all. So that's how you do footers or headers with page numbers on multiple worksheets.